Well, here's a fine kettle of fish. Pulling in late last night, well after all the shops have closed. Sit there for a second in the Buick, fiddling with the radio, hear a pop. Shut it off, see steam coming out. Damn thing decided to go and throw radiator hose. Fortunately, it was in my driveway, but now I've got this car stuck in the way, and it needs to move. And it looks like what happened is the constant tension clamp, manufactured in the wonderful year of 2003, is no longer so very tensioned. Yeah, it's it's loose on the hose. It should not be like that. That should be tight around the outer side of the hose, and then you squeeze it to open it. So that thing is shot. Let's get a better look. Wasted. Guess that means it's screw clamp time. Shove that back on there. Pull it into the shop so I can get the Miata out and go to the on-site appointment I had for 5 minutes ago. Oh, well, I'm an idiot. It's a locking clamp. I could not see it down there. When I put that on, I guess, oh well, we're going with the screw type anyways. Well, that probably answers a few questions. Mostly about my incompetence, but you know. Let's make sure that the Miata works so I can actually get to work this morning. I almost never drive this thing anymore. Here we go. Yep, no problem. All right, off to work, and then get some coolant. We can bleed that Buick and it'll be good as new. It keeps getting colder outside and I'm not sure what's going on, but I absolutely hate it. Anyway, now that the hose is back on, it's really just a simple matter of putting coolant back in here and then bleeding the coolant system. And I didn't show the bleeding process last time I did this, so the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crack this bleeder screw. I think the idea here is that this bleeder is the second highest part of the cooling system. This and then the radiator cap itself. So air is free to escape from here as I fill it up. And then I can also bleed it. So that's going to suck the coolant way down. You want to make sure that you've got the heater on for this as well, so that it opens the heater valve and circulates stuff through the heater core there. Otherwise, you know, when that finally does happen, you'll end up with a low coolant level. So right now, we just kind of have to wait for this to get up to temp, so it'll start sucking through here. And once it expels all the air more or less on itself, you'll see some bubbles come out of here, and then just, you know, a stream of coolant. Then you can shut that and you're done. And then you want to keep topping this off as well. It was starting to overflow out the cap, so I put that on, and now it looks like it's coming out of here. It's not warm yet, but we're definitely getting a solid stream of coolant. So I'm just going to close that off now. Wait for this upper hose to get hard, and then I'm going to crack it just a little bit again to make sure that any air bubbles that are left in here, once this actually gets pressurized, are relieved. And the coolant is going to be hot, so like, wear gloves maybe, or just don't get hit by it. I don't know. Give the overflow a fill up while I'm waiting on everything else to happen. Don't want it to go try and suck from the overflow and it not have enough to actually do that some. That's actually about right. Huh. Coolant is just now starting to get warm. They're at 131 degrees Fahrenheit, so we got us a little bit of time to go on this. See if there's any bubbles that have built up here. Yeah, see, now it's all air coming out, not spitting coolant anymore. Let that get warm so it can actually start pushing it out. We're getting really close to what should be operating temperature now, and I'm not feeling hardly anything flowing through here. The thermostat should definitely be open. Oh, I heard a hiss when I opened that. Definitely feeling some fluid in there now. Ah, big ol' air bubble came out. This can affect your heater performance, and it can keep your car from cooling properly. Real important to do this right, but it can be a huge pain on some cars. We're at 192, so we should be pretty much right at where this thing is at, you know, full operating temperature. Between 190 and 205 is generally where it seems to say when driving, but let's just see what we're working with here. There we go. We've got a nice constant flow of just coolant coming out of there. So I can go ahead and close that down now. Give it a little cinch. Not too much. This thing needs like none torque. And it should be good to go now. Go take a look at my temperatures. 187. Huh, came back down a little bit. You can see how trashed that motor mount is. I think I need to go buy me some hockey pucks. Before we go and drive this and see if it's actually holding its coolant now, I thought I'd give a quick fleet update. Yeah, 2003 Buick Park Avenue Ultra. I think you all know where we stand on that one. My 2003 BMW 330i ZHP. Wrecked, actually. Future video. It's just kind of sitting until insurance stuff gets figured out. 2008 Mazda Miata. It actually just kind of sits for the most part. I don't drive this all that often unless I really need to. With my back getting worse, it's not all that comfortable to sit in, so, you know, if I have the option, I kind of drive something else. My 1975 two-stroke Yamaha DT175. This thing, I still can't get it to work. It has compression, spark, fuel, still won't run. Not entirely sure what's up. Think it might be a weak spark. But Yamaha's really bad about actually publishing the specs so I can check and actually test stuff on these bikes, so I haven't really done much with it. I'd like to, though. I really want to go off-roading with it this summer. My 1987 Honda Goldwing GL1200. It is also still sitting. I took the carbs out to clean them, found out there is rust in the fuel tank, so yep, that's a problem I'll have to take care of. I'm also going to need to do a timing belt on it because these bikes do have timing belts, and I'm sure that thing is really rotten, so yeah, trying to figure out how I'm going to rectify that, because in order to get the fuel tank out, you have to take the whole bike apart. So I'm going to try to deal with my rust issues with the tank in situ, which, nightmare. 1997 Ducati Supersport 900. It works as far as I know. I've just been keeping it on a battery tender. It won't start right now because the starter sprags don't really engage all that well when it's cold out. So it'll just kind of go and not actually spin the engine. But it, for the most part, works all right. And then way back here, we got my 2013 Kawasaki Ninja 300 Street Fighter build. Not a lot has happened on this, and there's not much to say. It just kind of starts. There's going to be an episode on this thing here shortly, as well, an episode about why my hat is covered in so much pet hair. And then, of course, there's something that you've seen in the back of a whole lot of videos that everyone's been asking about. It's my mountain bikes. Don't ride those much either. I'm getting fat. Yeah, they just sit there. Oh well. Let's go drive a Buick. That seems to be maintaining its temperature great. No problems whatsoever to report. I was a little bit worried there that it lost, you know, all of its coolant, but it was only 2 quarts, 3 quarts low actually in the engine itself. That's pretty impressive. Thanks for watching.